Hello and welcome to Deconstructing the Construct, episode 66. I'd just like to briefly go back and give my version of the timeline over the last few years. It's my understanding that this construct should have ended at the end of 2012. But what happened was that we were in fact transferred into a copy. Everything was copied over. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the in-between. The reason for this being that there were really not enough of us awake at that point, and it would have resulted in the loss of too many minds. As we were told years later, the greatest mind wipe the universe had ever seen. This copy was to buy us more time, for more volunteers to come in, for more of us to wake up. And it's my belief that that copy was only supposed to be for 4 years and was originally supposed to end at the end of October 2016. And it was around that time, or shortly after, that the original construct that we'd been in was deleted. And we were now left in a copy of a creation that should never have existed. An anomaly of an anomaly. I believe that it was known what events, what codes, what frequencies needed to happen, be achieved, and be changed in order for us to finally close this out. And 2017 was a play out of those. Because everything that happens at the code level, the energetic level, whichever way you want to look at it, shows up in the physical form. It shows up in 3D. It plays out in 3D. So we went through 2017. And as usual, I can't see past the end of October. You can feel the energies build and build and build as we get towards and through October, and then everything falls flat. We reset, we play out that year again, we play out that theme, those series of events. Everything gets played out again at a deeper level, in different ways with different people, but the themes are there over and over. 17, 18 and 19 have just been repeats of the same thing. Something is different this time, however. Throughout July and August, the feeling that this was the last run through, this was the last possible repeat of this series of events, was getting stronger and stronger. And as we get closer to October, the evidence for me is showing up more and more and getting stronger and stronger that is in fact the case, that we will not get to the end of October and then start over again. This is the last run through. I say this because early September I started to see and feel the pink bubble again for the first time since 2016. And again, it was coming in from the right, and it was sitting over the month of October, and actually started to move in a bit closer and sat over the date of September 22nd. And for me that means this pink bubble represents home energy, it's home frequency, and it's here now. I've had confirmation of people actually starting probably around the 19th and 20th of feeling a significant shift into what they feel is what they associate with this home energy. This time, everything has changed. What I felt was going to be experienced is that September was going to be full of hits. Things that are hard to swallow, disclosures that are just unbelievable, mental and emotional hits. But then October, we would start to see the positive effects of that. That's what I originally thought, and I still think that's the case, but it's actually bigger than that. I think we're going to see something significant, and that from here on in, things are just going to get better and better and better. Also, in recent weeks, I feel we finalised a merge with the last remaining alternative timeline, and that this construct is now on one timeline. That timeline was the Tartarian timeline. I feel that from the moment the whole Tartarian mud flood started to become known and seen, that we were that was the beginning of the process of these two timelines merging, and they kind of came together like skin knitting, is actually how it was shown to me. And that only in the last 2 weeks that process is complete, and we're now on one timeline. Now again, going back through these years and loops and themes, we were told by Home in 2017 that the timeline's merging and closing out. We were told last year that we were now on one timeline. But again, because it all has to play out in the physical, I think it's actually just completed that process in the physical. If there was an aspect or a fractal of you on that timeline, you may have been experiencing recently things like black and white dreams or sepia dreams. The whole thing has a very steampunk feel to it all. And for me, that is your confirmation that that timeline has closed out for you, and that you've now merged with that particular aspect. In alignment with what I said earlier about everything that happens or changes in the energetic or the code has to play out and be seen in the physical. Recently, we've had a lot of disclosure around Google and its search engine and its manipulation of results. That's a great analogy for the construct itself. In its original design, we would put out our intentions, our desires, and the construct itself would feed back to us all possible scenarios and resources and opportunities. But the code was infected with the virus and began to manipulate the results. So it would only loop back or feed back to us very limited, very manipulated results. And I believe that is what has changed. The construct is starting to operate as it originally was designed to. And I'll get into that a little bit in a minute. I was told back in May that the creator of this realm, the creator's mind, had been wiped. And if you're not familiar with what I talk about, I'm not talking about a god. I'm simply talking about another being who is responsible for the creation of this particular realm. As a result of the mind wipe, all communication with this realm was lost. In fact, all creation completely within the realm, the construct, was lost, and has only recently been re-established. One message that came through energetically very strong was that alignments are necessary. And this is internal alignments, as well as external alignments, celestial alignments, windows of opportunity. I believe that in the past, these alignments were used to conduct a reset, and this time it cannot happen. However, it's those very same alignments that will allow for this to all break down. I actually had contact with Home a couple of weeks ago, and they confirmed a lot of things. One, that we're now on one timeline. too that home is in the process of changing right now. Their skies have turned purple, their oceans have turned pink. That universal source itself has actually stopped. Nothing is moving. Everything's at a standstill. That may have shown up for you because I know so many of you over the last few years have had dreams around clocks and hourglasses where everything stops or the last grain of sand runs out. Well, I have lots of reasons to believe that's where we are right now. The clock has stopped. We were told that in a message last year, but again, it happened at that energetic level, code level. It took for us to do another run through for it to play out here. We were also told that every experience that can be had has been had. The realm no longer serves any purpose. No more opportunities for growth, expansion and change. That source itself is about to open. And when that happens, it pushes all of its energy out through creation and brings everything back in, everything back home. So in a nutshell, what does all of that mean? For me, it means that as of the 22nd of September, we are in a new space, a new frequency. And it's one that is very close, if not completely in alignment with home frequency. And we're in a process of adjustment. We need to acclimate, we need to realize where we are and start working with it, because this construct, this place, is actually working the way it was intended now. And the programs and the blocks that prevent us from experiencing it the way it was originally intended need to drop. Start practicing, start playing, and you will find that reality is more malleable now than it's ever been. The members and I are starting to play with narrating our story, narrating our day. When something is not going the way you would like, change it in your head like you're narrating. Keep a journal, but write a day in advance. Write about yesterday, but do it in advance, as if it's already happened. Expect better feedback, more positive feedback from the construct. The stories that I've heard just in the last few days of opportunities that have presented, of things that have changed in real time due to setting a different intention, are really, really awesome. Be the cause, be the writer of your story, of your experience. Because if we could only just really know it, we are no longer just having to navigate being affected by it. Like I said, it really does feel like where we're at now is a space, an opportunity to acclimate to more home-aligned frequencies, to get in touch with our superpowers. The only potential negative in this environment is the division between home-sourced and between heart-sourced and non-heart-sourced, becoming more apparent. But the energy that they can draw on to cause problems is diminishing daily. It really does feel like things are just going to continue to get better and better. And I know it's hard to trust that in this place. So start small. build up. It also doesn't feel like we're going to be here for very long. Maybe the end of March, before something changes again. So that's how long we've got to acclimatise. So that's it from me. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.